It's trucks.
Trucks and a car, and I am driving north on I-505 to skip Sacramento and continue north on the 5, and I'll end up at my mother's house in Klamath Falls.
Meanwhile, I'm here, out of ritual purposes, still driving a truck in a video game, south from Redding, through Sacramento, so maybe we'll see some of the same stuff Isaac's doing.
We can pass each other, like two ships in the night.
Yeah. It's nighttime where I'm driving, it's daytime where you're driving.
I'm driving, this is perfect. This is like perfect in all respects.
Isaac is coming to you on the phone and I'm using my headset mic. I hope the audio is good. I hope the video situation that we figured out is good. Here we are doing trucks not 2 weeks after trucks ended. How, Isaac, are you?
I'm rolling. You would think that I would be dead by now because I left New York on this road trip on September 2nd, which is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'm still alive and I'm still driving.
It doesn't feel that long on our end, I gotta tell you. Not that much has happened. You've been having a much more densely packed life.
Yeah, I mean, for the time being, my life is going to slow way the fuck down very shortly. But,
yeah.
No, I'm doing okay. The car is still running. I haven't died or hit anybody. Nobody has stolen any of my shit.
Nice.
And I count that as an all-in-all win. I saw a bunch of family members that I haven't seen in a long time. My default hostility toward my own family has been ameliorated somewhat by people being eager to see me and to take me in.
You've visited many acquaintances, including my acquaintances, who I've never met in person.
Yeah, isn't that funny? How I just sort of usurped all of that. I feel like we should give official truck shoutouts to those members of the community who have hosted me on my way across the country.
Yeah. Sucrose and Taylor. I know about Sucrose and Taylor.
Yeah. Tumblr user Tweety McGee, who was my first one, and is, I think, not a member of the Trucks Discord, but a Trucks adjacent and a Homestuck person.
Cool.
Snarp, who is occasionally dipped into the Trucks Discord and is the writer of what is currently the best unfinished Homestuck fanfic in existence, in my opinion. I stayed with Sucrose. You all know Sucrose. Sucrose is the best. I've met Sucrose's mom now. I've met Sucrose's dogs.
How's Sucrose's mom? How is she?
She seems like a perfectly happy human being. Totally nice, totally pleasant. Didn't get a huge sense of Sucrose's mom, if I'm being 100% honest.
Okay.
But enough to tell that that's a good mom, good dog situation.
Good.
Shout outs to New Classic, who I met up with near the Louisiana-Texas border.
I hear you got po' boys or something?
Yep, good sandwiches to be had. The man knows his sandwiches. And is doing his thing.
So,
and
yeah, go on.
I got to finish.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize.
I met up with Arjuna in California.
All right.
I stayed with Naked Bee in Sunnyvale.
Wow, so many.
Yeah, no.
All these good people.
Exactly. It's this whole project has given me some dividends. A couple of game but socially awkward lunches with some folks who were clearly overawed by my sheer charisma, and some beds to stay in with some notable writers of Homestuck fanfiction and various other Homestuck, which and we could talk about the Homestuck video game right now because the first chunk of it is out. Do you want
to? I haven't even looked at any footage of this thing. My interest in it is so slight, almost.
I don't think that you need to. I don't think that you need to even take the slightest of glances at this thing.
Cool. Carrying on with the plan. I'm getting speeding violations all over the place here, but like everybody's passing me on this highway.
It's a shame that trucks have one law and cars have another. Cars are, not as cool as trucks, but certain advantages are had, and one of them is that I only have 5 gears.
What I want to hear about, Isaac, is life on the open road. Is there any way we can integrate your experience into the truck's aesthetic more holistically?
Well, I have to tell you, Josh, a thing that you could do to make this sort of the micro trucks world more realistic is that about 4/5 of the way into any given haul, say, "Ow, my leg."
Why?
Because your leg starts hurting eventually, working all these pedals.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
We never get out of the truck to rest or stretch or anything. We stay in the truck to pump the gas somehow, even though.
So how about this then? Toward the end of every episode, we record ourselves. Well, we record our past selves leaving the apartment and standing on the corner, stretching, and then going back and finishing the trip.
That would have made a lot of sense. But these discoveries are only retrospective. So that's one thing. Another aspect of life on the open road is the possibility of peeing yourself. If you miscalculate how far you are away from a rest stop or gas station at any given moment. Because staying hydrated is a big deal out here. You can drink to keep yourself occupied. And when I say drink, I mean drink alcohol. No, I mean, like you're sipping on your water, trying to be against the air conditioning, sucking all the moisture out of your face. And occasionally you might have an accident if you're not careful. So the trucker diaper situation or the catheterization. I haven't outright pissed myself, but I've come close on it.
You're not game to just stop at the side of the road or the highway or pull into some town and just pee anywhere?
Pee anywhere in town?
Like just on the side of the road in some bushes, whatever, some surreptitious spot.
It's hard to do that on the interstate because you're envisioning getting off of the shoulder afterwards, and going from 0 to 80 on the interstate is, that's a big ask. But I have not availed myself of just peeing on plants so far, and maybe that's been my weakness.
I've always been very cavalier about where to stop and pee. I figure as long as it's not that hard to do it stealthily. I don't know about on an interstate, but
on the back roads, no, stealth peeing is definitely a thing that you can do. Yeah, that hasn't occurred to me. Maybe that's my problem. I've just been insufficiently gung-ho about where to urinate. Another thing that Truck Simulator doesn't really do is roadkill. There's so many good dead animals that I've seen so far, like a really wide array of dead animals, like entire wolves.
Wow.
Coyotes, armadillos, and alligator.
An alligator? Is that the biggest animal you've seen?
I think, the deer's, like a big deer is bigger than any of those animals.
Sure.
It wasn't a full-grown, 12-foot-long alligator. It was a younger alligator. Armadillos, various badgers and skunks. A lot of animals are dead.
Why can't animals learn how to deal with the road?
I don't know. Birds do. Like, I've passed a lot of crows that were happily snacking on these animals and got out of the way in plenty of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just like not something that you can. I don't know. You would think that they would learn. You would think that selection would take its course, but I guess the impetus to go place is too strong. I guess so. I empathize with that. I also want to go place, and I'm currently going place. So I have to say, I've picked an incredibly fascinating part of this drive to do this on I like the I-5 corridor north of the middle of California is incredibly dull. That people are watching is just going to be like a flat line with the occasional overpass.
I mean, the scenery on my screen isn't that much better. It's the same old highway on ramp outside of Sacramento. We've passed this 1,000 times. Who thought that driving while doing a podcast was a good idea? Jeez.
I mean, this is keeping me occupied, which is an awesome thing.
That is good. So far, been relatively scant on the profound lessons learned as you know, life as an itinerant. Isn't it supposed to put you in kind of a suggestible mind state that lets the sublimity in? I'm not hearing much about that kind of thing right now, Isaac. That's what I signed up for here.
I'm like in the process of moving across the country and changing jobs and moving into a completely different, you know, life space. I'm paralyzed. My brain is not going to the sublime place. I'm having mood swings, you know. I'm like chuckling and crying in here.
Yeah.
The bigger picture remains elusive. Beyond, like, I have to say, a certain sense of the insignificance of my own life and choices. Mm-hmm. But really, all of the most interesting stuff is not happening on the highway. It's happening on the stops, you know, at the various little places where I'm staying, and, you know, seeing the peoples. The highway itself is like mostly interesting from a visual perspective.
Ooh, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay, it's possible that...
No, you're back. You're back.
You know, it is
fine
possible
now.
that'll happen. Cool. I have to tell you that since the last time I did this, cell phone coverage is like 90 billion times better. Like, we're doing this on GChat, not even on the phone, which means that I'm having like robust internet access here in the middle of nowhere.
Hello?
Although Skype for some reason can't do the thing. Oh shit! Did I lose you, Josh?
I lost you for a good 30 seconds there.
Oh, that's fun and ironic because I was talking about how good the internet connection in the middle of nowhere was.
All right. Let me start driving again.
We could possibly, we can cut together the sources that I'm getting and that you're getting, and we can just talk at each other and not hear each other, but the audience can hear both. That's a fascinating idea.
We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get, and we'll cut it together as the situation demands.
Yes. So how about you? How's the homestead been without my presence? How's the new guy?
New guy's been chill. He not a whole lot to tell, you know. You met this guy briefly, right?
Yeah, I've met him before. He's a guy.
Yeah. It's been chill. We've been surprisingly good at cleaning. For some reason, all of us got better at cleaning. All of a sudden. I wonder how long that'll last.
I mean, until you can learn to take his tacit disapproval, presumably.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm sorry retroactively for letting the side down with my low standards.
It's okay. I also have low standards, but it's nice to, you know, hold yourself to something higher for a little while at least.
That's what we're all trying to do here.
Yeah. There's a police car passing outside quite slowly. I think it's not quite at the apex of its loudness yet.
That's coming through my ears, and I'm definitely remembering that it's not here.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about being pulled over.
Other than that,
it's new.
We've been redecorating. Monica hung up all the clippings of artworks from great artists that are stuck in private collections from a catalog. And she did a really nifty thing where she sort of, on the back sides of them, left their information, like the artist and the name of the artwork, so we won't forget who did what.
Nice. The apartment is now a concept.
Yeah,
it's been gallery.
But it's also got like some stuff from Jesse and some stuff from Nick up that wasn't there before, like some advertisements for some weird theater stuff mostly.
Cool.
Nick contributed an old map of the of Manhattan back before it was Manhattan, when it was these smaller political bodies, I guess. I'm not too sure. I'm not familiar with that history myself, but it's interesting to look at.
That's a classically Nick thing to contribute.
Totally.
I'm on the
totally.
5, infinitely. I moved on to I-5.
Okay.
So the real journey begins now. So, like, in order to avoid it being all, scuttlebutt, good media. Do you have an opinion about a video game that we could talk about?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2.
Yeah, of course you have.
Not a whole lot to say about Destiny 2. It's pretty much Destiny 1.
Cool. More guns.
Yeah, lots of guns to shoot. I was having a thought the other day. You might have seen me kind of blabbing about this in the Trucks Discord a little bit. How it's weird that Destiny purports to be like, a world of mystery and history and all these wonderful things to explore. A mythical world full of horror and wonder. But really, what you're doing when you're playing it is shooting continuously. Whereas in PUBG, the premise is it's 100 people being dropped onto an island and they're all gonna kill each other, but you shoot like way, way less often in that than you do.
The overall experience of playing PUBG is vibe and landscape and paying incredibly close attention to the landscape. Whereas it's all, bang, flash, and shiny in the Destiny thing, which is odd because of the sheer paucity of world building in PUBG. Thankful paucity of world building in PUBG, because the more you learn about it, the least interesting it becomes.
So it makes me think a little bit about how video games haven't completely figured out a smooth way to have the experience of playing them match their setting all the time. Or rather, they don't that often seem to care about the experience of playing them matching their setting.
We've discovered yet another kind of dissonance.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it up to you to coin the Greco-Latin conglomerate word to describe it.
I'm not equipped to do so right now. I'll let you know. I'll put it up on the screen if I come up with anything.
Sweet.
It's probably going to say poop lord shit dumb.
Is it? Are you sure you're not interested in the Homestuck game?
Poop lord. Is there a poop lord in the Homestuck game?
There is no poop lord in the Homestuck game, Josh, but there's a poop lord in Homestuck.
I think we should treat the people to more of your opinions on the Homestuck game.
Well, I mean, I'm being performatively crabby about it on the old Tumblr because I despise the organization and the sheer inefficiency with which they have come to this conclusion. Yeah. Particularly compared to the sheer efficiency with which Hussey pumped out the best parts of Homestuck back in the day.
Yeah.
Not that I want to, that old horse into the lather that he must have been in at the time. But it's like the actual experience of it is decent. It's fine. It's incredibly redolent of Monkey Island. Whereas Homestuck itself started out as like a riff on Infocom games. Like this is 100% like Lucasfilm should be getting royalties for this game for like Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion, Day of the Tentacle, and stuff like that. Revealing maybe like in larger part where the sort of deadpan violent aesthetic of like as humor aesthetic of Homestuck came from, because that was very much a thing in those games as well. And also like surreally, this game is set in 1994 with 14-year-olds, meaning that these kids are 4 years older than I would have been at the time, or 3 years older than I would have been at the time. And so their toys and their childhood cultural references are all mine. So I'm like going through this game and there's a Simon and there's a Light Bright there's a Jonathan Taylor Thomas reference,
Yeah.
and Clear City runs it all.
I didn't realize it was set before Homestuck.
Now the kids are Jade's, or one generation up from Jade. They're Grandpa Harley's kids,
Huh, okay.
like son and daughter. Presumably via some bizarre fucking shenanigans that we'll find out later.
Sure.
Rather than, straightforward. But
Right.
yeah, no, it takes place in the early '90s, and as such is plucked directly from Andrew Huss's childhood, presumably childhoods of the people that he's been working with. And like, it's all serviceable. The backgrounds are incredibly detailed. There's a lot of stuff that you click on. The writer tweeted rather defensively, I thought, that there's unique dialogue for trying every item on everything, which, awesome dude. I'm glad you put in the extra hours for that. The actual game is, part 1 of 4 of maybe this half of the game, and I beat under 2 hours on a first playthrough, which, as the product of the farcical process that led to it, is pathetic.
Do you, in the process of this first release of Hive swap hives, do you see the troll at all?
You get the first hive swap. Yes, the trolls are in there. They did not stop before the first swappage of hives. That would have been unbelievable. But
sounds boring. Thanks for summarizing. Sounds pretty dull.
There's the best thing that I can say about it is that it does a pretty good job of aping the tone of the better parts of Homestuck, without having anything that is sufficiently nuts to measure up to that standard.
Mm-hmm.
It is all reaction and no innovation.
Yeah.
And there are no original gameplay elements in it whatsoever.
Cool.
So there's my capstone.
That sounds like what you'd want out of a Homestuck thing. No innovation.
Yeah. So, I had no expectations, but I was kind of hoping that it would be enough of a disaster that it would be useful on that front, and it's not. It's just dull.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
So, yeah, we've now established that. I hope that was in some way useful for you. How's the truck situation going?
How's the truck situation?
Yeah.
4 virtual hours left, still just driving down these night roads, haven't crashed or anything.
Dang, man. Well, so, I gotta tell you that, in terms of the feelings of doing trucks with you in person versus the feeling of doing trucks with you this way, this is, increasing my quality of life while driving tremendously.
I'm glad it's increasing your quality of life while driving.
Yeah, so, this feels great over here.
There's definitely some connection artifacts, which is making not only this quality of connection has created some awkwardness in terms of the flow of this conversation.
Yeah, we've cut each other off a few times, which is a cardinal sin.
Mm-hmm.
But we've dealt with that on guest trucks before. It's not completely.
It's more just that you're sometimes very hard to hear, but hopefully when you send me that recording over, that'll be fine for the people listening.
I sure hope so. The best that we can say.
This is not the plan for how we do the future trucks. This is just a little experiment.
I'll get a proper mic, having left the one that we purchased together.
Yeah.
And, we'll do it upright. I'm glad that this, for whatever value of audibility we've established, is going out there. and allowing me to say, hey, truckos, we're going to keep doing this for some value of this. It's going to be great
Forever.
forever. Do you have you guys like forgotten that I existed yet? How long until that? How long until my part in your life is completely filled and I pass into nothingness, even beyond memory?
Never. That's why I said forever. What question already answered.
These human connections are so. And I'm lucky. Like, I can still waltz through all of these folks doing my song and dance and get bread and fruit at the end of it.
Wow.
Or trucks.
I assume what you've just said was a complicated metaphor of some kind. Hard to follow.
I'm sorry. I was more.
I need straightforward language only.
I've been thinking about human connections.
Oh, yes?
Because I'm showing up at all of these people's houses,
Mm-hmm.
and doing my little song and dance. And like, I'm less good at being entertaining on demand than I used to be, I think. Or
Entertaining on the what?
What?
Entertaining on the what?
On demand.
On demand. I got it.
I'm less good at being charming than I used to be. Or alternatively, I am just like not taken in by my own charm nearly as much. And so I'm forced to consider the possibility that these people who are welcoming me into their homes like me not because of the performance I'm putting on, but because of some strange intrinsic personal quality which I can't put my finger on. Like, they might like whatever that is.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, the evidence is in their charity. At least the ones that aren't related to me by blood, where alternate explanations could be scraped together. So, like, particularly in light of this thing that we're doing now, which is in theory an entertainment vehicle, being entertaining, and that is why people are watching or listening.
I hope so.
Perhaps it's just an emotional connection at this point. People, it's like the Prairie Home Companion. People aren't listening to that to be entertained. It's because they feel like they have I don't know if this shows up on the video, but the town that I'm about to pass is Grimes. I'm passing Grimes, California.
Beautiful. I'm passing some tumbleweed. You know that one spot where there's always tumbleweed? That's where I'm at.
Sweet. Anyway, yeah, no. Do you think that there is something beyond performance that people latch onto? That
Totally.
It's not just a matter of
In a matter, like in terms of interpersonal relationships generally, or in terms of watching trucks?
The point that I wanted to make is that I, in my brain, know that people can like each other without just being a matter of being entertained, like mutually entertained, or some other quid pro quo.
Yeah.
But I realized as I'm going through this trip that I definitely don't act as if I believe that. Like, on a pre-verbal level, I still think it's all, I still view all of these human interactions as economic transactions. And I should probably do something about that.
I'm going to disappoint you by saying that there's a David Foster Wallace essay about this phenomenon you're encountering.
Why do you think I don't like David Foster Wallace, Josh?
Because you have said on multiple occasions that you despise David Foster Wallace.
No. Why do you think I don't like him?
Oh, because is it because I'm gonna guess this based purely on the context in which you asked the question, but is it because his ideas remind you of your own in an uncomfortable way?
Bingo. Yeah. So, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But the whole sort of smug, semi-ironic, pretending to know more about the thing than you do, but under thing. And always yourself an out thing. Yeah, no, I hate that shit.
Isaac, I am being treated to a beautiful sky. A beautiful
Delightful.
virtual sky. It looks like a painting.
Mine is slightly marred by the fact that a lot of the West Coast is still on fire. There's a lot of haze
Yeah.
out in the middle distance. The sky is a very, very, very pale blue-ish thing. Unfortunately, I wish I could see your virtual sky.
Someday you'll see my sky.
I
So,
feel like mine has more moral rigor.
what was the question earlier? You wanted to know whether I thought, but you answered it yourself. You wanted to know whether people could like each other on a level beyond entertainment.
Yeah,
Do you want me to
I-
provide some insight on this?
People obviously like each other for reasons beyond entertainment, but the question that you answered was more interesting. Do you think that the Trucks audience now has an emotional connection with us, which means that we can stop trying to entertain them?
I think there's still some onus upon us to be mildly entertaining.
Yes, that's most likely correct.
In my opinion, we have failed to live up to that on several occasions, but they are still here. So I think the way I would like to think about it is that we've got kind of a safety cushion. We've got a little wiggle room.
Goodwill. There's pent up goodwill.
Yeah.
Is that goodwill generated from the memory of being entertained, or
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
is that goodwill generated from the memory of being entertained and the expectation of being entertained more in the future?
No, I think it occurs simultaneously to the entertainment, but is unrelated. I think we are genuinely giving people little slices of our friendship, and they like desperate wolves are feeding on these friendship scraps.
I appreciate that tremendously. I think you must be correct. I think you must be correct. I've been happy to feed on a few of their friendship scraps in return.
All we're doing is the same thing any anime does.
Are we?
We're tricking them into emotionally investing.
Yes, indeed. Despite being
all emotions are tricks.
well, the other thing about my emotional makeup on this drive is occasionally being really happy for no reason, and then occasionally listening to a song and almost crying for no reason.
You're living in an emotional vacuum. You're spending so much time on your own that your emotions are flying around like crazy, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I suppose it would be a little premature to pathologize that.
You're purely subject to the winds of emotion, being blown around willy-nilly. You're weightless, is what it is.
Memory and Dr. Pepper just coursing through my veins.
Dr. Pepper making you emotional? Emotional over the good taste of Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper is what's keeping me going on this trip, as it is all my trips.
Yeah. I'm a little stuck on something.
Oh, okay. I couldn't do it without you, Dr. Pepper. A+ job.
I'm gonna try and get unstuck. There we go. Alright. Moving again. I'm almost ready to park this truck. By the way, we've got this super cool, what is this? It's a digger. We got a digger 500. It's looking good.
Oh, sweet. I'm carrying a bunch of my friend's kitchen appliances and a mic in a box, most of my clothes, and a couple of guitars and an amp.
Yeah.
That's what I'm on.
I gave Jesse a briefing on Vaporwave the other day, by the way.
Oh, good.
Somehow the conversation flowed over there. Yeah, it went pretty well. He seemed to think it was fun and cool. His perspective on it was that the conceptual baggage is kind of a fun accessory. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like something that makes it more goofy, which I think is a pretty even-handed way of seeing it.
True. I think that, particularly with music, you can only hope that the conceptual element supports and enhances in the way a seasoning does, rather than during the runs of the
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I incidentally, like, you guys should definitely get some use out of my records.
Some what records?
Use out of my records.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
That is my dream way.
I played some of the Deer Hoof the other day.
Cool. My stepmom texted me to let me hear her for playing in Portland the day after I get back.
Oh, are you gonna go see
Very
him?
kind. Maybe, just like, get in there with both feet and to remind myself why that particular venue is kind of shitty.
This is such an easy parking job that I almost don't even feel like going to the trouble of doing it. But I'm gonna anyway. I kind of messed up the approach, so now it's gonna take me a little while.
Fair enough. I'm hanging out behind a pickup truck. California is very flat where I am currently, while it has been very wiggly in other places. There's a lot of California now.
California is very large.
A lot of different kinds of California, all very recognizable California.
You're breaking up a little bit more than you were before, but I'm just gonna keep pretending I can understand you. California has many different kinds of trees. Have you seen the redwood trees? Have you gone to see them?
Not far enough north yet. I mean, in my life,
Yeah, you've
Yes.
seen them before.
I've seen redwood trees.
I've been
driven
craving.
through-
I've been wanting to go see those damn redwoods. I've got a yearning for redwoods.
Come out to the West Coast sometimes.
Yeah. You know I'll probably be there at some point.
California again.
I have parked. We're now level 21. It was a satisfactory job because apparently I took a bunch of damage at some point. I don't remember doing that, but it happened.
All right, Budo. In that case, those transitional trucks can come to a stop, although unfortunately I can't. Because many, many, many more miles to drive today.
Yes, keep on driving.
Yet, I will cut off my video now.
Me too. Cool. Well, that was fun.